Cool. He's so stupid. Nobody can hear the music, dude, because you have it on your thing.
Yes, they can.
Well, I don't hear it.
Just because you can't hear it doesn't mean they can't hear it.
No, I guarantee if it means I can't hear it, they can't hear it. I won't
All
put money
right.
on it.
All right.
We're dealing with you,
All
the
right.
technical wizard.
That's right. That's right. So.
Yeah, I'm listening to it. In fact, right now, you can't hear it. So I was right. Like usual.
Okay. All right.
Except for yesterday. I'll give you that. Yesterday, you were right.
Right. I didn't change it yesterday. So I don't know what to do.
No, I'm talking about the game. You had the one game right. You were 1-1. I was 0-2. So.
Shut up, Brian. I wasn't playing it for you anyway. That's why I didn't want you to hear
it. Yeah, tell him, Brian. Get him. Get him. Tell him, Brian. Get him. The truth.
Man,
what's going on, Brian?
You know, how you doing, Brian?
And anybody comment real quick? Just curious too, who you guys like in the Super Bowl so far? You know, who do you got in the matchup? Because I'm curious to what people think.
I agree with that. I think it's going to be
Coach. One thing that did worry me yesterday, I don't know if I said it on the show. Everybody I talked to liked the Packers, and you know how it is sometimes when everybody likes something, it goes the other way, and that's pretty much. You were the only one I think I had talked to, like guy here or there.
Right.
Like not 90-some% was the Packers are going to win, and the Packers are going to cover, and obviously it didn't go that way. Me and you talked off the air. Obviously, I didn't like the flag on third down. I think the Packers should have had the opportunity to try to go and win the game, just because they didn't call all game. But regardless of that, and I know, former. Hold on, let me finish. Former colleagues of wherever people used to work with us. This is rigged and all that. Look, the Packers had every opportunity to win that game yesterday, and they didn't. Look, do I agree with that call? No, I don't. I don't think the flag should have been thrown. But who knows that the Packers were going to score anyway? They had 2 interceptions before that, and they came out with 3 and outs. So, it is what it is. Tommy, you hate the Packers because you're a freaking Vikings fan. And Tommy, if I were you, buddy, I'd be rooting for because I think it's very possible. Aaron Rodgers sounded like a guy that might want to leave yesterday. Because Matt LaFleur was, said, we want Rodgers back. He's the MVP. And Rodgers said that his future was uncertain. And I got a feeling that he knows Bakhtiari's going to be a free agent. He knows Aaron Jones is going to be a free agent. He's going to wait maybe and see what happens with those guys or what the plan is. But if Green Bay doesn't have a good offseason plan and sits on their hands like they have been every offseason, I think you're going to see Aaron Rodgers leave because Aaron Rodgers is getting killed today. Not getting killed, but 1-4 in NFC Championship games, 7-8 last 15 in the playoffs. And let's be honest, man, he missed some throws yesterday on that third down. He could have run in the end zone. I thought Aaron Rodgers left some plays on the field yesterday. Sorry, Coach.
I agree. There was a third down where Vontae Adams was running down the field untouched with nobody around him, and he threw a pass high to I want to say St. Cloud or somebody, and it went off his hands and almost got picked off. So I don't really look. LaFleur played it safe because you're the home team. And I think last season crept into the back of his head and playing it safe. He didn't want to get the doors blown off. But I put it on Aaron Rodgers. Your team, you're the man. You want to be the man? You got to be the man and say, no, you keep the kicker on the sideline. We're going for it on fourth down, and I'm going for it. Screw you.
I agree.
Call the time and make the coach call the timeout. Have your argument on the sideline, but go for it. You're Aaron freaking Rodgers.
Well,
okay?
Coach, You don't want to waste that time out, obviously. So you don't want to do that.
Obviously, but
right.
if you're Aaron Rodgers, you have enough say in that.
I would have waved him off. I would have waved him off and gone like this.
Yep.
And he would have. No, and I agree. And it's that's why people don't like, I want to say don't like Aaron Rodgers. But of course, after the thing, it's not my decision.
Right,
it's not.
Right.
When guys like Brady do this, they're going to say, we're staying on. I've seen Mahomes wave off Andy Reid, that competitor. Look, and I don't like the call. I'm not one of the guys. Do I think it was he should have had more stones? Yeah, I do. I'm not going to kill Matt LaFleur. The guy's in his second year. He's been to 2 NFC Championship games. Yes, you're going to get a little bit of he can't win the big game. But look, the game was out of his hands a little bit yesterday too. A lot of bad plays. Obviously you have the 2 fumbles by Aaron Jones, which drives me nuts because after you fumble the ball one time and get to live, where your guy falls right on it, you think you would say, thank you, God, high and tight the rest of the game, 2 hands if you have to. You're playing for the right to go to the Super Bowl, dude. What these are the things like D Ford when he lined up off sides. It's like, are you kidding me, dude?
Right.
Like that offsides, it would be 3 years in a row the Chiefs would be in the Super Bowl this year, and maybe they win that Super Bowl against the Rams. I think it's very possible. That we could be looking at the Chiefs going for the first team in Super Bowl history, going for a three-peat. You know what I mean? I mean, because a guy went off sides. I mean, some of those, they drive me crazy, Coach. It's just like, how do you let that happen?
Haven't we had a three-peat team?
No.
The Niners didn't three-peat?
Nobody's ever three-peated. No.
All right.
Because remember, that was a talk about the Cowboys. That when Jimmy Johnson left, that could have been the only team to three-peat. And a lot of people
I thought they won it right after with what's his
Switzer.
name?
They did.
Switzer.
But remember, 95, the Niners won. And they beat the San Diego team. And then that first year, and then Switzer comes, they get Dion from the Niners, and then they beat the Steelers in 96.
Got it. Okay, yeah. You're right. Yeah. So, but I just think I'm putting that game on Aaron Rodgers. You had the opportunity to show, here's the matchup everybody's been screaming about for years. Oh, we never get to see Rodgers and Brady in a Super Bowl. We never get to see it. And now here on the biggest stage, or the second biggest stage, the NFC Championship, and you crap the bed basically. Granted, your running back got hurt, but I mean, your guys made some poor plays. You fumbled the ball. They opened up the second half. And
Coach, not just that too. I understand what's going on. The defense played bad. I mean, you look at the score. You say 31 points.
Wait a second. You intercepted Kyle Brady.
You just talk that. I'm trying, and then you just you do. You're horrible at that. You really are. You're horrible at it, man. People start, and then you just barrel at her talking.
Yeah.
And I know I talk a lot, but I try not to storm over people like you do. But no, the Buccaneers, the Packers. You see 31, but you have the fumble. You get put on the 2-yard line. I mean, who's going to stop them there? Look, they gave him how many times has Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions in the second half of a playoff game?
Right.
Never. So they did do that. They gave that offense every opportunity to get back in that game. I mean, they were down. They were right back in the game with plenty of time left. Let's be honest. The Packers couldn't get it done. And, the one thing I will say, too, they missed Bakhtiari yesterday. You could see it. That left tackle got killed. JPP a couple times, just whoop. And there was nothing Rodgers could do. So that was the game. Before this game, you didn't see it. It kind of got hidden, Bakhtiari missing. But, man, you really saw him missing last game.
I think part of that was once Jones got hurt, and they kind of pretty much abandoned the running game, which I was surprised because, I know the score was kind of getting there. But in the third quarter, when you were climbing back in, I thought you could have still run the ball to help yourself and slow up that pass rush. Because, I mean, at that point, they're just pinning their ears back. And, I mean, that they were just coming at them. And it was like a jailbreak at some point, at some times during that. You know, so I just think that, you know, you're right. It got hidden during the season because they mixed that run in. And I just think they just abandoned the run too quickly.
Yeah. And I mean, look, like they're down 28-10. And then, man, they take it back to 28-23 by the end of the third quarter. And they had multiple possessions, like I said, to take the lead or whatever. And then, you know, just didn't get it done. You know, and I looked to that Aaron Rodgers where he had Devontae Adams just wide open.
Just running down the field.
And he missed them. And the other thing, too, he really tried to force it in the red zone to Adams. Yeah. He had 7 targets, only 1 catch in the red zone from Rodgers. I thought he tried to force it to him a little bit. Should have look, you could see Green Bay got out of their game. Yeah. They like to mix the run with the pass, and they really got out of their game. And I really thought LaFleur, you know, you stick with what gets you there. I understand when you're 28-10, you can't. But, man, it was 28-23. And I understand Aaron Jones was out, but I like Jamal Williams and A.J. Dillon, the backup running backs. Yeah. They're both big dudes. And I understand the Bucs have the number 1 rush defense, but you gotta keep them, you know, you gotta keep them.
I think analytics got in your head. You know, that's where the analytics got into your head with, you know, oh, they got the best rush defense. We can't rush with these backups. We gotta, you know, we're gonna have to beat them throwing the football. And I honestly, I thought Aaron Rodgers was singling out guys. Like he wasn't really looking the whole field like he normally does. He's one of those quarterbacks that has phenomenal vision of the entire field. And like you pointed out, you know, there was guys running open and he clearly didn't see them and threw the ball in other areas of the field.
And Coach, if you look at the box score, you would say, oh, Green Bay won. Brady's got 3 interceptions. Yep. Green Bay had the ball 35 minutes to 25 minutes. Just didn't get it done. I mean, and when you look too, they had 48 passes to 16 rushes. That's not Green Bay football. I mean, that's a 3-to-1 ratio in regards to passes to runs. Just got out of their game, and you know, obviously, you could just see it. The Bucs made more plays, and there's a lot of them. I know Green Bay had the 3 interceptions, but when you talk about the big game plays, the momentum swinging plays, they were mainly on the Bucs side. And look, the one thing I will say with the Packers that was bad, that touchdown to Scotty Miller at the end of the first half, that cannot happen.
Oh,
that
cannot
happen. That cannot happen.
Here's what got me. That was King. He let him get by, and then he, in the second half, quite early, I forget who it was, but dropped the ball. And lucky he didn't Tom Brady missed that. And he got up talking trash. And I'm like, you just got beat twice. And you almost gave up 2 touchdowns.
And Coach, there was one play too. Tom just put up. Yeah. And the safety was in great position to knock it down. He just missed it. Yeah. The guy got the catch. I think it was Godwin. Yeah, it was Godwin. Because I remember freaking Aikman, who I hate, was sitting there. Chris Godwin's got a confidence problem. Next play, 51 yards. Chris Godwin. Right. I'm just like, you freaking mush, man. Aikman. I watch Romo, and to me, nobody's touching Jim Nantz and Tony Romo.
Right. I agree with that.
I'm kind of excited to see how Breeze does. As you know, he's going to think. I think Breeze will be good. But Aikman just is not even near Tony Romo's level in regards to being a commentator.
Absolutely. And also, did you see the tight end from Seattle just retired, Jimmy?
Yeah, Greg Olsen.
Or Greg Olsen. I was going to say Jimmy Graham, but Greg Olsen, and he's going to be their number 2 guy at Fox, I think. So
where did Breeze sign? CBS?
NBC. So he's going to probably be doing Sunday Night Football.
That's Collinsworth, though.
Yeah, but they're going to start him off in the booth, and I think Collinsworth is going to retire, maybe, or I don't know what the whole deal is, but
okay.
But they're going to start him off kind of like, remember Tiki Barber? They put him in the you know, and try to segue him into the booth.
Well, and I hate to say this, once again, you know, I know ESPN's cutting money and all, but why not get Breeze from Monday Night Football? I mean, Brian Griese sucks. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, I like Louis Riddick. I think he's a great guy when you're talking about the draft and what teams should do and needs. Right. And he wasn't bad in the booth, but I mean, come on, man. You can't come up with anything better. You watch, you know, I'm not I don't like Chris Collinsworth, but the guy's a good analyst. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think, and Al Michaels is Al Michaels. And then, obviously, you see Romo and Nance are, to me, the best. I'm glad they're doing the Super Bowl, obviously.
I really, Tony Romo really gives you, before when he was really just fresh in the box, he started calling plays before the ball was snapped, and I love that. But now he's kind of backed off and stuff.
And one thing I give him credit, Coach. So the last time the Chiefs and Bucs played, the Bucs had lost, and they went to 7-5. Now this was a team when they were 6-2. I remember I said I thought the Bucs could make the Super Bowl when they were 6-2.
Yep.
Then when they went 1-3, I thought, Bucs, they've come down to earth. They're, you heard some trouble maybe between Brady and Arians, and that's a lot of media creation. But still, Arians was kind of coming out and criticizing Brady, and but look, once again, December rolls around, Brady gets it going, and look, man, no matter what you say, I don't think anybody's done it since Coach's Giants, but it is not easy to go on the road and win 3 playoff games in a row on the road, and now, the first time ever, you're going to be playing a 4th team road game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Obviously, in the Super Bowl. So, and then those Giants were a 5 seed as well. So, we'll see what happens. Going to be a good Super Bowl. I did say yesterday, as we get to the Chiefs, that when the Chiefs play their game, I don't think anybody can beat them. And look, the Chiefs were on their game yesterday. Kind of question about the Bills. I thought the start was great, obviously. I thought the Bills I didn't get. I think they were so scared of Tyreek Hill and that offense. They played back too much. I think you should have look, if you're gonna if you get beat, you get beat, but you can't just let them catch passes in front of you all game and just tear you up. I mean, Kelsey was just a monster yesterday.
I know there was a couple of times he was like, there was nobody by him. I'm like, you're not covering the tight end? I mean, what were you doing?
The coach, they weren't even chipping him. Not even touching him off the line.
And
line somebody up and hit him. You do something.
Now let's just go to the offense real quick for Buffalo. I had a real issue that, okay, Spags had a great game plan and they weren't going to let the quarterback beat you with his legs, okay? But they came up and it felt like that Buffalo's offensive line couldn't block anybody. Like guys were just coming straight through the line with being untouched and right in his grill. And they never changed up any plays because, like you said, the middle of the field was wide open. They didn't throw enough quick crossing routes. Like I always feel like, Tony Romo did a great, he called it sticky coverage with the man coverage. They were on him like white on rice. And, and in order to combat that, you got to run those shallow crosses and get those quick, three-step drop. And
Beasley had some plays, and in the middle of the field was open.
But they didn't do it enough. They kept trying to, we're going to try and get it down the field, and they it never gave them enough time to do it. I just, felt like
I think the Bills should have run the ball a little
and
bit more.
They need a running back.
They do need a running back. They need a little bit better of a line too. And Josh Allen, look, it was a big stage for him, but I mean, look, you had what's going on, Angela?
What's up, Angela? How you doing?
You had the 9-0 start. You're up 9-0. I mean, obviously, they missed the extra point.
Right.
But Allen just didn't have a great game either. The offense seemed out of sync. I just think they knew they were in for a daunting task. But you'd think you'd be up 10-0. I remember, that's one thing I do like about Mahomes. When they were down 24-0 against Tennessee, he was still, all right, we're okay.
Yeah.
We just need to make a play. We're okay. Josh Allen yesterday, they went to him on the bench, man.
Deer in the headlight. Deer in the headlight, man.
And Aaron Rodgers looked like that yesterday, too, a little bit. You always got to, it, Coach. Sometimes Tom Brady's big on that, man. You'll see him. He'll start warming that ball up on the sidelines. Yep. He starts yelling to this guy, you're the quarterback, man. You're the leader. Those guys follow you.
They feed off of you. Absolutely, they do.
And you really need to sometimes in the game stay on those guys, keep them going. Just let them know, look, man, just need to make a play. And look, the Bills were always in. Look at the Packers. They were down 18, and like that, boom, it was a 5-point game.
Right.
So, a couple plays, and you're right back in them. And, the Packers made a momentum swing. It's just they couldn't get it done. I mean, they really couldn't. If you'd have told me the way that game was, I'd have said the Packers won. I really would have. That they'd come back like that and get multiple interceptions. I'm really surprised the Packers didn't get it done, but didn't make the plays. Buck made the plays. Officials, I thought that, they should have thrown that flag. I mean, but that doesn't mean, the Packers would have scored anyway. But, they let them play all game. I'm going to be honest. I thought it was a flag early on in a big play at the end of the first half where they got their first interception, the Bucks. He grabbed the guy, gained momentum, and interception. You agreed on that one. So I did think there should have been a flag there. And then, look, if there's a flag there, I don't have as much problem with the flag at the end of the game. You know what I mean? Because you're being consistent then. And, look, that's a big play, Coach, because instead of going down 11.
Two different officials are calling that flag, too.
Right. But maybe the Packers, obviously would have had 1st and 10 then at the, 40-yard line. Their own 40, so they probably get a field goal at halftime. You're down 1 instead down of 11. You know what I mean? Where how it is. You're down 11 against Tom Brady. It's
gets into your head. It does get into your head though, because it's Tom Brady. And here's what I thought about it. And Angela, you can chime in a little bit. Is as a Raider fan, you hate the Chiefs or whatever that you call them, and you got Tom Brady. And I mean. Where do you go here? So,
and look, I understand. I understand, like we said earlier, about the Raiders fans' hatred of Tom Brady. I get it. Look, if a guy like that, like I said, it's been made easier for me and Coach because our teams beat Brady in the Super Bowl. I hated Brady because he beat the Eagles in my first Super Bowl that I saw. So I obviously hated Brady too. But now you just got to tip your cap to him. And anybody, like I said, we brought up before. The guy who's saying that the NFL's rigged. The NFL's not rigged. They didn't sit there. Look, that was a fumble then. It's a fumble now. But the NFL didn't know back when, the Tuck rule happened that Tom Brady was going to go on to be Tom Brady. At that point, he was a backup quarterback leading the Super Bowl team. And I don't want to hear it. I see people saying, oh, well, Brady cheated. Look, the stuff against Belichick, that's on Belichick, and that's more gamesmanship. If you want to talk about Deflategate a little bit, I mean, I don't really see that either.
I know, because everybody does it, though. Everybody does. All the quarterbacks
I agree.
Said it.
Brady is the greatest of all time. And, look, if you can't admit that, to me, you don't know much about football. 14 of 21 championship games, 10 Super Bowl appearances, working on possibly a 7th Super Bowl here. Right. There's just nobody that's ever going to be able to get that resume. And look, it's cool. You got the GOAT against everyone who everyone thinks is going to be the next one in Mahomes.
Right,
so.
And I think, Brian, I don't think he retires. He's too competitive.
Yeah,
Brian, I just think he's too competitive.
I think there's a chance, but I think he's such where Coach said he wants to prove. He said he was going to play to 45, and everybody laughed at him, including me. And like I've always said, I don't make the business of being, betting against Tom Brady or doubting Tom Brady. But that was one thing I did doubt, was that he could play to 45. And, boy, that's what I love about Max Kellerman. The dude's been saying Brady's off a cliff for the last 7 years. And here we are at 43, and the guy's going to another Super Bowl.
For most Super Bowls won and most Super Bowls lost. Wow, that's a pretty good fun fact.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that is a fun fact. Thanks for the fun fact, Angela.
Yeah, and you know what's a shame, though, too? Actually, I do feel bad. Like, you finally have a team that makes the Super Bowl with a home game, and it's COVID. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel bad that Tampa fans can't, get out and be there and see their team play. But I don't know how that's going to work. Did they announce yet, Coach, how many fans are going to be allowed?
They gave 7,500 tickets to
the medical
vaccinated, vaccinated healthcare workers. So, that's what it is. There's 7,500, but the rest is all corporate. You know how the Super Bowl is. But I also read somewhere that Budweiser, Pepsi, and somebody else is backed out. So I don't know how that's because I thought Pepsi's doing the halftime show, so I don't know how that's working, but 20,000 fans. Okay. 20,000 fans. Okay. Yeah, but isn't Fran Tarkenton? Didn't he lose 4 with the Vikings too? Because the Vikings lost 4. Wasn't he all for maybe because I know he's with the Giants for a little bit.
Yeah,
and
I'm not sure about that. That might have been the coach that was in all four.
Yeah, I know the coach was there, but I know Tarkenton, but because I thought he went and then he left and came back, but he was still in all four. I have to look it up and see, but that's something to check out. But because I think the Vikings, what is it? Hey, Peep Eater, is the Vikings and the Bills to be 0-4, right? They're the only 0-4s there. Yeah. No Pepsi, Bud, Coke, and Bud commercial. Okay.
I wonder why. Well, is there a reason? Because it's not like you would think, sometimes people there's no bars really. I'm sure the ratings are still going to be great.
Right.
Maybe it's just, with COVID, people are trimming the fat a little bit with money. And look, it is expensive for a 30-second commercial.
Right.
But don't worry, here with all the funds we got available, you will see a Coach Muddle commercial.
That's right. That's
and
right.
just because it's the puppy bowl or whatever they call that bowl on the what is that bowl channel what they have on the channel or whatever?
Yep.
What's that called?
Yes, I don't even know. But here, let's bring in the Magi, who's kind of losing his Magi. His
Magi. Took the words out of my mouth.
He's kind of losing his Magi. Hold on, let me get it up here. I got to change it first.
Yo, Book of Brian just put up. It's $5.5 million now, Coach, for 30 seconds. That's ridiculous.
For a commercial? Oh, my God.
On the Super Bowl. My God, that's a lot of money. Jesus.
What's up, Boo?
29.
Coach, you got to rub it in his face. It's still great.
I do.
You know what I mean?
I do.
He was looking for number 30. Well, he's going to give 8 props for the Super Bowl, so don't worry. We're getting you to 30 in the Super Bowl, Stiz.
Listen. I'm gonna bang out as many props as I can until I get to 30. That's for sure. If I lose the first 5, I'm gonna start taking first quarter, second quarter, third quarter props till I get there. Oh man. Well, what are you gonna do?
But look, you know what? We are. That's still impressive. 29-8 is still impressive.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I would really love anybody to go find some talking head on one of those big networks to show a better record than what Stiz is.
You're not going to find one, Coach. You're not going to find
one. I know,
one.
that's what I'm saying, but that's why I'm throwing it out there because you're not going to find it.
Your thoughts on the game yesterday, Stiz?
Here's the thing. Let me backtrack just real quick while we're talking about these prop bets. 2 weeks ago, Mike Evans, the Tampa Bay scores 30 points, and Mike Evans has 1 catch for 3 yards. I would have bet everything on that. You know what I mean? Like that he would have had the over, on my prop bet. Now, last week, who's going to foresee an injury? Aaron Jones, he left with 27 yards, but it was in the second quarter, and I think it was pretty early in the second quarter.
Right.
So, who knows? But I would have think he would have got 63 yards, whatever it was.
I said he was on pace.
Yeah.
He was on pace to get it, and it just,
what are you going to do? A loss is a loss. You know what I mean? So, what can you do? I'm kind of coming in late. I didn't really get a chance to listen to you guys too much to see what you talked about. But my thoughts on the game is the Packers blow. I'll start off with that. Hey, listen, man, Tampa Bay dialed up a good game plan. And, their defense, once again, showed up for this game. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers, just some kind of questionable play calling on the Green Bay side. Their defense, Jesus. This Kevin King, my God. How do you let coaches boy get open? Scotty Miller get open.
Hey, Stiz, that was the guy you did say watch out for this year. Don't forget. You did say that.
I think I said that in week 3, and he was kind of MIA until last week. But you looked at the play. Tampa Bay was getting ready to punt the ball. Yeah. They were getting ready to punt the ball. The GOAT was going off the field. Next thing you know, Brady says, "You know what? Hell with it. Let's go for it. What can it hurt? Who cares? We'll go to the end zone, incomplete or not." He gets a touchdown out of it. Yeah. Kevin King just lets him drive by him like it's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude, really?
Right.
And no safety help either. He had no safety help.
Yeah, and Coach, Stiz, the one thing I didn't like, though, was that interception on the Bucs. I thought he held and got momentum and caught it and picked it off. But, the Packers had a lot of opportunities and a lot of missed opportunities. If you remember, we were talking about Devontae Adams at one place wide open in the end zone. Rodgers misses him.
Yeah.
St. Brown missing that 2-point conversion. Devontae, 7 targets in the red zone, 1 catch. So, and Stiz too. How about that third goal where Rodgers could have ran into the end zone and he doesn't? There was just a lot of left on the field by the Packers, and you can't leave it up to the refs. So it's their own fault.
And Lazard was wide open. He was wide open on one of them plays. And Rodgers just kind of had tunnel vision with Devontae Adams. I get it. Devontae Adams is your money man all year, but you can't force something that's not there. You know what I mean? You just can't do it. You got to go availability.
Maybe it's just me, but I feel like sometimes these guys, and I feel like this when I watch the Saints play, but I got that feeling watching Green Bay yesterday was that, it's like, F you, it's supposed to work, and I'm going to keep running it until it works. And it never worked. I just got that sense. I get that the last couple of playoff games from the Saints, watching them, that, they get into this mindset of, we're going to do this, and it's going to work, and we're going to keep doing it, and it doesn't. And I think Rodgers was that same way. I'm going to get this guy some catches, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like you said, he got tunnel vision.
No, I agree with you. Did you guys touch on, Aaron Rodgers' statement pretty much at the end of the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Stiz, I was saying to Coach, I think that's a little bit, and he got missed yesterday. They missed Bakhtiari yesterday to the left tackle because the Bucs got some pressure on Rodgers, got some big sacks on Rodgers that, negative plays you don't need. But I think a part of that, Stiz, I think Rodgers obviously was unhappy they drafted Jordan Love, last year in the first round. Tom Brady had drop balls too. But, yeah, you're right, Sammy. But, Aaron Jones is a free agent, and they think he's gone for sure because they're not going to pay him a lot of money in Green Bay. But so is David Bakhtiari. And I think Rodgers maybe wants to see what happens in the offseason or what their plan is before, he decides if he wants to go to Green Bay. I think because, the coach came out and said he wants him back. Rodgers was the one who made it like, he might not be back next year.
Right. And I don't blame him.
Contract situation with Rodgers. Is he still under contract or
2 more years? 2 more years.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a cap hit if they
No, there isn't.
So,
but they're not releasing him.
You're not letting him walk.
He doesn't want to play. He can just think, if Rodgers says I'm going to retire and forces that,
right?
Look,
the
49ers would probably give you 2 1s. 49ers would probably give you 2 1s for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
You take it.
I definitely don't think he's going to retire. I think he's still got a couple more years for sure. But yeah, like you said, he might pull a Tom Brady. He might go somewhere where, obviously going to go somewhere where they have a lot of weapons. He has a chance to win the Super Bowl. They got a lot of weapons at Green Bay. So, they're going to have to surround him with a little bit more.
Right.
Aaron Jones is going to have to re-sign, I think, for Rodgers to come back. Because this Dillon kid, he looks pretty good. Jamal Williams, I think, is gone after this year.
Yep.
So, if you get this Dillon in there.
But you're drafting at the end of the first round. I think the running back from Alabama will be there. That guy, but, those running backs from Alabama, there's only a couple that seem to be playing pretty well.
Well, the two first-round guys, Coach, I think, are Najee Harris from Alabama, and then maybe Travis Etienne from Clemson. So, but you know what? Rodgers is probably going to, look, if I'm him, I would really look at the Niners too. That's his hometown team. He was always disappointed that they didn't draft him number 1 and that they drafted Alex Smith, obviously. I'm telling you, if Aaron Rodgers or Watson end up in San Francisco, they are the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl next year. I know, and look, I love the Chiefs. The Chiefs are great. But, man, that team with that kind of quarterback, it's just going to take them to the next level. You saw a little bit. Stiz was high on Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. put a good quarterback back there like Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers. Those are Pro Bowl receivers. Jimmy G's not that. That's
right.
And if the running backs are healthy, you know what I mean? They had a lot of problems this year, but man, Raheem Mostert, Tevin Coleman, they had a third guy, names dropping off the tip of my tongue, but yeah, I mean, 3 running backs that are really good backs if they could stay healthy. And yes, they have a very potent offense if they get that quarterback.
Jeff Wilson, is that his name?
So, you know what? Jeff Wilson was one of them too. Actually, he was a rookie, I believe, last year. But
he looked good. I thought
there was actually another guy they had that was hurt that's been on the team for the last couple of years. I just can't remember his name.
Not McKinnon, is it?
Yeah, Jerick McKinnon. That's right. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So
yeah, no, they got a good line. You got the tight end position. You got probably the first or second best tight end in the league. It's obviously an argument between him and Kelsey. The line's good. The defense is good. The Niners are a great team. I think, like I said, I'm curious to see what happens. It's going to be one hell of an offseason.
Man, I think there's so many quarterbacks are going to be moving and shaking this year.
Nuts.
This offseason. It's going to be crazy, I think.
And look, too. Look, these quarterbacks are thinking, I think this is on the mind of Matthew Stafford. You go and look what Brady did at 43 years old, who basically picked the team. And look, it's Tom Brady, too, who's special. But still, picked a team that was, 6, 7, and 9 last year, I think. Goes on that team, and here they are in the Super Bowl. So, and look, there's plenty of teams like that. If you can get to Indianapolis, if Big Ben retires, you can get to Pittsburgh. If you can get to San Francisco, any of those 3 teams get the proper quarterback. They got a shot at the title. Miami, there's another one. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of teams who just are that quarterback away.
Okay, let me throw this out at you then. Does Dallas pick up a quarterback and send Dak packing? I mean, because he's going to be really expensive. You get a veteran guy cheaper to maybe be a placeholder.
Yeah, you spent all that money on Cooper and Zeke already, so
So why not win now? Because I don't think you can. Because what is the?
Yeah, but coach, what quarterback?
Franchise him again.
What quarterback? You're not getting Rodgers. There's just like Stafford. I think you're better with Dak.
Yeah, but what about Matt Ryan?
Too old. Like, if it was Aaron Rodgers, yeah, I would do it because it's Aaron Rodgers. And I think with those pieces, Aaron Rodgers could do something. But I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to go to Dallas, obviously. And Dallas is just – they're in trouble because they paid Cooper. Like Stiz said, they paid Cooper and Elliott way too much money. They're in some trouble.
I agree. I agree.
There's still some questions about Wentz, too. That came out today that, everybody thought, oh, okay, Doug's gone now. Wentz is staying. That Wentz – and, look, I'm really getting tired of hearing about it, and I'm getting tired of Wentz a little bit, that, he's not happy with the organization and how things happened. Look, dude, you were playing terrible.
Yeah.
Do I think it was all you? I don't. But it's still – you were playing horrible. It doesn't matter. And when you play like you were playing, you're going to get benched. It don't matter who you are. So – he's very entitled, it feels like, and it's starting to get quite annoying.
He needs to have a little talk with Phil Simms. He needs to, because Phil Simms got benched a couple of times, even after he won a Super Bowl.
Right.
And so you need to go talk to a guy like that and listen, suck it up, Buttercup. But I agree. I just don't see how Wentz walks into that building if there's fans, because as soon as he throws an errant pass, God forbid it's an interception,
that crowd's going to be going wild.
I mean, he is going to get just crushed. And
honestly,
I don't think he can handle it.
I think he's going to get booed from the start. I really do.
I agree.
I think he'll get booed for some of the stuff that's going on this offseason. And look, if he goes and plays well, those boos will turn to cheers. You can always win them back by playing well.
Right.
But
but I agree with you, Nick, with the entitlement, because the organization went out and got you the Frank Wright clone, basically. The next best thing to Frank Wright, they got his offensive coordinator. That offense that made you successful, they went and got that guy for you. They didn't go get a guy to come in and say, well, it's going to be an open competition. It's going to be, and we're going to see what Jalen Hurts can do. No, they went out and got a guy specifically for you and nothing else. They got a yes man, and that's it.
Well, I think they're going to obviously try to figure that out. And I do think if it's going to be Wentz, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think they will explore the trade market for Jalen Hurts and see what's out there. And if somebody says, hey, we'll give you a 1, they are going to take it and, move on.
Absolutely. If let me tell you something. If I draft a guy, obviously, if he's a 1, I want more compensation than what I got him for. So if I got him at a 2 and someone's giving me a 1, absolutely, I'm all for that. But again, you picked him in the second round. Guys in the second round are usually players.
Yeah.
The top 100 guys are usually guys that can play in the league.
Going to be an interesting offseason, that's for sure.
It is absolutely. We're gonna have a ton to talk about and a ton to get into. But right now we're getting ready for a Super Bowl matchup. That's something that we've, obviously this is round 2. Mahomes lost to him on an offside call, but it's Mahomes Brady in a big game. I not counting the regular season, obviously. But
to me, to put this in basketball terms, this is like Michael Jordan getting to play LeBron. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or Michael Jordan getting to play Kobe in the finals. And it's just because you've never seen a career like this at 43 years old to be playing at the level he is still playing and be in the Super Bowl. You essentially have the GOAT against the guy who everybody thinks is the next one.
The up-and-coming GOAT. Yeah.
Right. I mean, and look, some of Brady's numbers, I don't know if they're ever – right. If somebody – some of Brady's numbers, I don't know if they're touchable. But if there's anybody that can do it, it's Patrick Mahomes. I mean, because look at this AFC Championship. He's already in 3 in his 4th year playing. So, can he get to 14? That's a whole nother animal because I think the Chiefs will be good again next year. But then that following year is when his contract kicks in, and you're going to see they're not going to be able to keep the depth they have, keep those linemen they have, and you'll start seeing it happen with the Eagles. They had to pay Carson, and you saw some of the depth go. And look, they also won a Super Bowl, so guys want to get paid. Sammy Watkins will probably be going after this year. So we'll see what happens with the Chiefs and if they can maintain, their
and you'll see that defense take. I think that's where you go because I think you want to keep Mahomes and as many weapons as you can for him. And I think you'll see that the defense will start to break up and they won't be able to pay guys and they'll be the first to be.
The guy that makes that defense, I love Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. He's all over that field, man. He sets the edge great. He doesn't let people beat you on the edge. He's just he reminds me a lot of B-Dog, a different B-Dog, but, he reminds me a lot of B-Dog. He is He definitely is a player. Oh, yeah, it's true. Brian Buell just said, too. Andy versus Brady round 2.
I know. I just put that up. You didn't see it?
Oh, I didn't see it. No.
No. I'll tell you, we all got duped yesterday on Buffalo. I tell you, we bought into the hype. And I don't know, this turf toe injury, I think everybody kind of bought into that, too. I mean, he didn't look too bad yesterday for having a turf toe. And I think that's why we all kind of went on Buffalo's side, along with, how good they were playing. I mean, it's tough to go against Kansas City. I mean, these weapons they have, look at this, man. Once again, their 1-2 punch, Kelsey and Tyreek Hill, man, were money once again. 100 yards. It's like, like I said last week, I mean, it's like I'm watching a video game.
22 catches, 290 yards, 2 touchdowns between the two of them. Insane.
I mean, that's crazy. How do you beat a team like that?
Right.
How do you outscore somebody? And we talked about it all year. Kansas City, it was either going to be one way or the other. Now they went the last 9 weeks, 9 weeks before last, 8 games, they win by 6 or less, right?
Right.
Last game of the season, they lose outright to the Chargers because Mahomes doesn't play. A couple guys don't play. But 8 games pretty much in a row, they beat the teams by 6 or less. they're due for a blowout win or they're due for an outright loss, not including the Week 17.
Right.
And here it is. They went with a blowout win this time, and it was at the exact right time.
Right. And, Stiz, you said it. I said it yesterday. Stiz said the only team that can beat the Chiefs is the Chiefs, and he's right. And I said when the Chiefs are on their game, nobody can beat them. Yeah. And I still believe that. And I think a lot of people just thought maybe this wasn't the Chiefs' year. You had the concussion with Mahomes. You had the turf toe. They weren't looking as good down the stretch. But I'll tell you, I remember saying we were going to know early with the Chiefs, and I think we kind of did. You saw they started great against the Browns. Then Mahomes gets hurt. Obviously, the game gets close. But, man, the Chiefs took their foot off the gas at the end of the season and basically went into the playoffs and just went right back on and went right on the drag and started right back up. And they're so hard to defend. It's just a great team. I mean, it really is. And I really think if they pull this off in the Super Bowl, you finally have a team that really has a great shot at going for a three-peat next year. But we still got a game. Obviously the line's 3.5. I think that's going to tick up more. And I'll be honest, I don't know where I'm going yet, but I don't know if I'm – and that's what sucks because there's two things I always say. Don't bet against Brady and don't bet against the Chiefs. And, well, shit, they're playing each other. So what do you do?
Right. And you can't root for a tie because there is no ties in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Right. And I have a ticket right now already. My Bobby, obviously I lost my Bills ticket. I do have a ticket on the Bucks. So, do I go on top of that and bet the Bucks too? Do I go the other way? I don't know what to do yet. But, obviously we'll give out that pick in 2 weeks on Sunday. But lot to look at, lot to think about. Now, look, too. A big, Eric Fisher tore his Achilles, so he will be out in the Super Bowl. Right. And, much like Bakhtiari, we said, you didn't see it as much against the Rams, but you did see that they missed Bakhtiari yesterday because JPP, I'm forgetting the dude's name who was playing left tackle, but he got, I think, 2 sacks over him and really kind of dominated the game against them.
Yes. And JPP looked like JPP of old, and getting after that quarterback, and he was there. So it'll be interesting. Another interesting matchup. We'll have to see who fills the
Coach,
top.
JPP 2 sacks, Shaquille Barrett 3 sacks.
Yep.
I mean, that's not like the Packers, man. They're one of the best pass protecting teams in the league. But I think what a part of it was what we talked about. And the Packers just never, they did have the, get some momentum going there in the second half, but they just weren't doing what the Packers like to do. Run the football, play action, mix it up. It's usually about 55-45, but man, like I said, it was 48 passes to 16 runs, and that's just not Green Bay football, and they just were kind of out of sync and just didn't look good all year.
Yeah.
Sammy, I'm kind of with you. We'll see where I go.
But so does, it's a repeat for the Chiefs. They have experience. It's not like it's their first rodeo either.
Yeah, but they don't have Tom Brady experience, 10 Super Bowls.
Brady's been the 1 or 2.
Yeah.
and you give them the advantage they're at home. There's no travel involved for the Bucks. There's something to be said sleeping in your own bed and the whole thing about that. So, but also it's COVID, so it's a lot different. There's no Radio Row, the whole big media thing.
I was just going to say that, Coach. They're not going to the Friday before because if you remember, it would always be the Sunday before the teams would come in. You have Super Bowl week. Monday and Tuesday are like media day and all that crap.
Right.
But, no, they're not going to have that, obviously. So, I mean, it's kind of like a road game for the Chiefs, but like I said, look, man, the Chiefs have now played in all scenarios. I don't think that really concerns them.
And I'll tell you what, man, this is the Super Bowl you want to watch. I mean, on paper, me, myself personally, I don't know how you guys feel, but I love offense. I love high-scoring games. I mean, I want to see a 56-53 Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Right. I want to see a lot of scores, a lot of offense. And this is the one. I don't care who you're rooting for. I don't care who you like, who you don't like. But this should be a good one. At least on paper, it should be a good one.
I agree with you. I agree.
Brian,
I'm excited.
Put this up. Brian, I guess 2 women are going to ref the same game. But also, Brian, here's one for you. this Super Bowl. First women to rep in the Super Bowl, too, this year. Sarah Thomas will be the rep in the Super Bowl. So you have that. Is the Super Bowl the real AFC Championship game, Brady? Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be a great game. The Chiefs, but like I said, the Chiefs, the only way the Chiefs lose is the Chiefs beat the Chiefs, and that's going to be by some turnovers or – I mean, look, Brady didn't look great in that second half, the 3 turnovers. If you'd have told me that, I would have put my house on the freaking Packers.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I couldn't believe there's 3 interceptions, and the Packers had all the opportunity in the world to go win that game and just couldn't do it.
Well, when you get that far behind, I mean, it's it's hard to come back. It really is, no matter who you are. I don't care what quarterback you are. You get down, what was it, 28-10?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you come back from that?
Yeah, but I mean, they cut it pretty relatively.
They did,
and were able to do that, but they just ran out of gas, so to speak.
What was the answer to why they would kick a field goal when they're down 8 points with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left? I don't understand that. You're still down. You're still down a touchdown no matter what.
Because Aaron Rodgers is not the man that everybody props him up to be. Okay, he's not a leader among men like other quarterbacks are. Because if he was, he would have waved off the kicker. He would have said, "We're going for it," and I'm doing it. I played in this game more times than you. Talking to the head coach, we're going for it in our house. And we're going to do it. And he couldn't do that. Instead, he let them kick the field goal so he could point fingers and take the heat off himself for playing a shitty game.
I don't think he did that on purpose, but I agree with you. He should have said, look, it's 4th down, let's go for it. But not even that.
There's no other option.
Well, here's the thing, too. You're over the 2-minute warning, so there's still over 2 minutes left. So you got the 2-minute warning and all 3 timeouts. If you get stopped, they're at the 9-yard line. So, you know they're going to run. You stop them 3 times, and then they're going to punt. You're getting the ball back. And you're still going to need to score a touchdown anyway.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It's 5 points. So you're winning the game instead of it being tied. I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. Give the one shot.
Here's the thing. You go for it and miss it. They got the ball inside their own 10-yard line. If you can stop them and they have to kick the ball back to you, you have a shortened field. You have a shortened field to go.
With Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. So with that, but also screw it. I lost my train of thought where I was going with it.
His head was about to spin. He's doing
it's spinning too much, man.
It started getting winky-eyed.
I'm with you, Coach. I mean, look, it's Aaron Rodgers. How many times have we seen him make those huge plays on the sideline?
A ton.
That's what I mean. You take the shot. I mean, it's probably less than 50%, but still, like I said, it's Aaron Rodgers. You never know. It's one
what
play.
What do you get a pass interference in the end zone? I mean, now you get a new set of downs. Something.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
I just
yeah, Sammy, I got into your stash.
Yeah. Coach is getting lazy-eyed.
Oh, man. I can't help it today. I've been
So and you guys leaning anywhere on the Super Bowl, or what do you think? You leaning or you don't know yet?
I can't convey that information yet.
Yep. Coach?
In Tom, I trust.
In Tom, you trust? Okay.
Yeah.
Who you picked? Bucks? No, you picked Bucks Bills Super Bowl.
Right.
And did you pick the Bills to win it all, or the Bucks?
No, I thought the Bucks were still going to win it. I had
the Bills.
So it's funny. It's funny.
I had the Bucks.
I don't really want to retract because I said it yesterday. I like Green Bay, but if we go back to the beginning of the playoffs, I picked Kansas City, Tampa Bay because I said, how do you go against a GOAT? And man, I wanted to pick Tampa Bay just because, and I went with Kansas City to win it all. So we'll see what happens. But yesterday, once I seen Green Bay still there, it was so hard to go against them,
Yeah.
Angela, we did cover this a little, but for you, we're going to go. I think he's in San Francisco next year.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's up to I think he wants to see what happens in Green Bay.
I mean, he stays. I think he stays.
I think he's upset about them drafting a quarterback. instead of a player, to help out that offense or the defense, whomever. I think it all happens to, like Stiz said, if they bring back Aaron Jones and Bakhtiari, I think he'll stay and see what the new draft class brings. But I think he wants to see what happens first. But if he does leave, I mean, look, man, put him on the Niners or the Colts. But I think if he leaves, I think it's to go to the Niners and Niners only. Why would you leave Green Bay? The Bears. That ain't happening.
Brian's a Bears fan, so that's why.
Well, you know what Brian's thinking too. Look, this has happened once to the Packers when Favre ended up in Minnesota and ripped their hearts out. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers would do that. If he leaves, it's going to be, I think, to go play in San Francisco in his home to try to win a Super Bowl there. But like I said, I kind of lean with Stiz. I think he's going to stay. But unless some bad things happen in the offseason and he's not happy with the direction, and you kind of get miscommunication and fall, that's the only way I'd see it going south.
Okay. And he stayed because McCarthy left, and him and McCarthy's they didn't get along too well. Yeah. So McCarthy's gone, and like you said, we'll see how this.
Yeah. The Packers look, man, their center's an All-Pro, their guards an all is a Pro Bowler, and look, Bakhtiari's an All-Pro himself. So there's a lot of talent there. Tanyan really came on this year, 11 TDs. Devontae Adams is the best receiver in football. I just think. After what happened last offseason, with the quarterback, I think he just wants to see, okay, what are you guys going to do, and make sure he's happy with it. And like I said, if he doesn't because I think Aaron Jones is big. A lot of people think he's going to leave, but I think the Packers better pony up and pay him because I think Aaron Rodgers is going to want him in that backfield.
Yeah, and I don't know that they're going to pay him. I agree with you. So we'll see, but. All right, everyone. Thanks for checking us out. We appreciate it. Make sure you like us on social media, wherever, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just Coach Muddle. If you want to, it's Nevada_Nick, Twitter, Instagram. So, and, Coach Muddle, type it in, go to YouTube, like the page, subscribe. So we appreciate it, and we'll check everybody. We'll let you know. We haven't decided if we're going to do a show or wait till the Super Bowl. Nevada Nick is on 16 different shows now. If he could squeeze me in, maybe. I don't know. We'll see now what happens.
A lot of commitments on Super Bowl Sunday, Coach. I don't know, man. A lot of commitments.
So a lot of commitments. So, and, Angela, we'll let you know. We'll put it up on social media and get the schedule out to you.
Look, let's not forget, too, last Super Bowl, Stiz 5-0 on prop bets. I had obviously the winner. I was on the Chiefs. This year, not going to be the same for me as my team's obviously out. So we'll give our picks. Stiz will probably have multiple prop bets for the Super Bowl. So, and there's always crazy props. Last year Stiz hit on the J-Lo butt Cleveland's prop. So
we'll
see what's out there this year.
So, all right, sounds good. We'll let you know, guys. Thanks for checking us out.